Today on A Common Good MTG, we're playing Selesnya Enchantments featuring our pal Calix. And it looks like we got a couple of weird cards in here I haven't seen in an enchantment deck before. Will that make this deck so much more interesting? Stay tuned to find out. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I'm your host, legally the Emperor of Massachusetts after I beat Charles Nelson Riley in an arm wrestling match, Dr. You Can't Suck It. Yes, thank you. Filmed before a live studio audience. Thank you so much. You Can't Suck It. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you to my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck I found over on the Aether Hub, posted by the MTGA-Assistant-Meta. It's called Selesnya 64. So 64 just means it has a 64% win rate, and it was a Selesnya deck. I figured out after taking a look at it, this is a Selesnya enchantment deck featuring our pal Calix, and that's what we're going to play today. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the cards in this deck. We'll talk a little bit how it should work, and then we're going to crush some hopes and dreams. The interesting thing is that we got, well, you're playing an enchantment deck. One of the cool things you could do is you can get out dudes with ward, cheap dudes with ward. And the reason why is because if you get this guy out for one, nobody can target it until they have at least 3 mana. So that means he cannot be targeted till turn 3, which gives you, put him out on turn 1, and then you start slamming enchantments on him right after that. And hopefully you can get something like Sheltered by Ghost on it, or you keep some royal treatments out there, which that means you keep your guy alive. And so you just keep slamming the stuff out there. You give him, what am I looking for? Ethereal Armor and Feather of Flight. Pretty soon this little dude by turn 4, turn 5 is enough to kill him. It's just enough. Same thing with our pal, the Honor Guard. There's only one of them in here, but still, those Ward 2s are incredibly powerful. What do we got? So we got creatures with Ward. We've got Calix, and Calix does everything in a deck like this. When Calix or another enchantment enters, you put a Popo counter on target creature control. When Calix or enchanted creature you control deals combat damage to a player, then you create a token that's a copy of a non-legendary enchantment you control, and you only do that once per turn. Except for then when that thing enters, it enters as an enchantment. So therefore you get to put another Popo counter on something. It's just this weird circle of putting Popo counters on everything. What else do we got? Any more creatures? This is another weird creature, Crystal Barricade. Not an enchantment, not in any way. So, but it's a defender, so it's just sitting there being a 0/4. Great, nice big butt. You have hexproof, so you cannot be targeted by anybody. That is fantastic. They prevent all non-combat damage that would be dealt to other creatures you control. Fantastic. They could be exiled, but as long as they're doing damage, then yeah, you're not going to get anything done to your guys. Helps to keep you guys alive. We do have one last creature. It's this one. You can put them out for 2, and you get a Glimmer, which is an enchantment. So therefore, you put out an enchantment, and then you can put out a dude that's an enchantment. So that will trigger Calix off twice, which is really good. Let's take a look at some we got there. Ethereal Armor says that your enchanted creature gets 1/1/1 for each enchantment you control, so this would cause it to be worth 2 more. Calix would trigger off twice, so you're putting Popo counters off like crazy. Oh, there's a dude, Optimistic Scavenger. Whenever an enchantment enters, or wherever you unlock a room fully, you put a Popo counter on target creature control, so you're just going crazy on Popo counters being pushed out. You can flash this out to give something hexproof, otherwise it stays and you get a +1/+1. So that's great. I'm actually surprised we have 4 royal treatments. I guess it's because it puts out an enchantment as well. You can say, why don't I just use more Shield Mage's Rescue? I'm not sure. I guess because this gives them hexproof at the same time? No, it's the same. I don't know. It's one or the other. Either it seems like it does relatively the same thing. Audacity. Your creature gets +2/+0 and Trample. Trample is a type of evasion. The other type of evasion is Feather of Flight, which gives your guy flying, as well as +1/+0. Anything that gets your guy beyond, because you guys are going to get really buffed, but you need to be able to get over your chumpers. Chumpers are a problem, but Feather of Flight and Audacity are the 2 things that help you get over chumps. What do we got? Also, Ossification takes out creatures. This takes out anything. These are both other enchantments, which trigger everything else off. And lastly, on the Elegant Rotunda, you can unlock it to put a Popo counter on up to 2 target creatures. That's the lamest second thing I've ever seen, but whatever. Extra Popo counters is never something to sneeze at. All right, so that's it. That's what we're playing with today. What are we going to do? We're going to try to get some guys out. We're going to try to pump them up, and we're going to try to go crazy and kill before they have the opportunity to reside. We're going to lock things down with things like Shelter by Ghosts and Ossification. Other than that, they can try to chump as much as they can try, but what you're going to do is you're going to trample or fly over the top. All right, so that's it. That's the deck. Now, before we go out, let's do as we do every night. Let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Hands together. Dear Black Queen Sholdred, who dwells within the dark chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear the lamentations of the women. All right, playing against Lilpheda. Let's see if we make our army grow. There's some energy on for you, Cubert. Enjoy. Come on, opponent. Let's play a game here. Let's turn off the beastie. He's going to protect himself for a little bit. We'll spread the wealth a little bit. We're cool. So he can put down another land. He still can't get to the Toadstool Admirer. He could go after the Optimistic, though. Scavenger. We get one more Popo counter on her. She'll be safe from little removal spells. I recommend you put another land out. That'd be something you kind of want to do. There you go. It's Rakdos, huh? All right, we'll just have to FOMO. And we're good. Pop. And second of all, let's go ahead and get this going. Ethereal Armor. That was looking good. And he's got to deal with it because otherwise we win on this next turn. All I got to do, I got evasion. So as long as he can't kill my guys, we're good. And I got like, what, 3 forward right there? There we go. Suck it, suckerfish. Suck it. Rank up. Everything against Roga. What are we dropping here? Comes out tapped. Can't do anything because all my drops are too small. Need to get green out, so I needed that to come out first. Alright, so Shardmage's rescue is the big deal. Let's just keep it for a second. We need to keep that guy alive. He's got a huge ward on him. You willing to play? He is. He's out of mana, so that's good. We can least do some cool stuff with Calix. All right, we got Shardmage's Rescue. That's all I really need for the moment. Got to keep Calix alive. And we're good. He doesn't have any ward, but I do got a hexproof in my back pocket. You got to do something about him. He's flying. That's not good for you at all. Forcing the sacrifice is the best thing you could do. You got black in a lot of ways, so that would be the thing you got. All right, hopefully that's it. GG. And we win, and we win. Ooh, I'm glad I had that last mana. Victory! All right, playing against Shadic 0. Two mana, we got one guy. Nothing to protect him except for his own natural ward. No Chocobo. What are we playing against here? Just green at the moment. Got ward 2, you're not touching him. He wants to go after him though. Alright, I'm gonna keep Royal Treatment in my back pocket. Need to keep my guys alive. All right, enters tapped, unfortunately. Sure, the other mana's fine. What do I want to do? I really want to go for this and just leave it available to be shot. Last time I do that, I just get totally hosed. Let's Optimistic Scavenger and go in. You just want to chump? We can chump. All right, the question is to start trying to target anything. Dog Scout. Okay, nothing to worry about. We're up to there. Let's pound it in. Ooh, Calix is fantastic in this situation. Want to keep this open, so let's just leave it. All right, we got to survive. I can lose the Optimistic Scavenger. This guy I can't block, so I'll just have to let him through. But Scavenger is going to sit there and just keep the Wayfarer off me, I guess. Gotta keep Royal Treatment available for the second. Just keep him from shooting my Toadstool Admirer out of the air. Don't care. Can I flash this stuff in? Oh, that's fantastic. All right, cool. I'll totally flash it in. No Calix. All right, we're up. We'll keep the Royal Treatment available. He's down to 4. Can I survive this turn? That's the problem. There we go. But I can't block those dudes unless I get this other guy out, and I can block 1. All right, there we go. I mean, I can't do anything. I'm just sitting back. I could at least block one of his guys. And Calix is strong enough to stay above him. We're hoping. We're crossing our fingers. We're hoping for the best. Over here, we got all these meaty trees off to the side. Probably tastes like raw hamburger. You know, it's like when you're walking around through a forest. Death touch. I really want to lose it here. Yeah, let's do it. That's fine. Ooh, it's gone. All right. Yeah, just, like I say, don't wipe the board. Don't wipe the board. He's just throwing things out at this point, looking to see what he can grab. And we win. Boom, boom. Goes the room. Boom, boom. We got so many cards. Up and against SlimeTrooper. Do I have any guys? I got a Toadstool Admirer. Okay, we got a guy to put it out. All right, we're cool. All right, so he will have his own ward to keep him safe for a second. Shelter by Ghost will help. Let's see what he puts out this turn. Okay, cool. Let's steal that guy. All right, so it's Ward 3 at the moment. Just got to keep fighting this guy back. Okay, we can Ossification. Swank. He's dead to me. All right, let's take it down to Paradise City. There we go. Get rid of the helicopters. I'm not a big fan of them. Come on. Get rid of them. There we go. And again. All right, well, I'm just going to go over his head at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we go. So he's down to 4. We got lethal. Just got to keep our poor Toadstool around. He doesn't have what it takes to kill it. He would need 1 more mana at least because I got a Ward 3 on it. And we win. And we win. Ooh, that was good. Victory. All right, we're playing again. Sunshine. 61, 26, 71. All white. Why does this deck always want to give me all white all the time? That is not right. We're going to mulligan this. How many white cards do I have? 6 forests, 9 plains. That's a little much. Let's choke back on the Calix. We already got one of them. All right, Toadstool, you're number 1. All right, so we'll see what he puts out. If it's nothing, we may not Shelter by Ghosts. Can't get to it. He's trying to be all goofy on me, isn't he, though? Let's just... Like, you put out 3. Let's just do this. It's fine. We got the royal treatment. It seems like the kind of thing you want to get rid of. All right, there we go. Now, if I was him, I'd be trying to kill that guy to get my guy back. Because obviously I'm playing some sort of weird combo deck. Alright, good. I can Calix it up. Let's pop the love. In we go. Yeah, I'll take that action. And we'll steal, because we're that awesome. All right, we'll keep the royal treatment around to keep the guys alive. That's fantastic. If I was him, I'd be getting pissed right now. Because I can just keep doing it all day long, man. You'd have to get out some chumps to keep me from doing anything. You don't really look like you want to try to copy some stuff, but it's not going to happen. You think, oh, I got the mana for this. How did that work out for you? It's when it enters in the battlefield, and that did not enter. It was already there. Nice try. All right, so I got to put some of these out to pump some guys up. I should have had that guy out already. All right, I'm going to keep this guy just in case. You'll lose it, man. Damage has been done. All right, passing around the popo counters like we own the place. We got lethal. Totally do. Hopefully he doesn't have a board wipe. Pee-pants! Pee-pants! Winner, winner! Victory dinner! Alright, put against T-Rain. Two mana. Do we have any guys here? We have none. We could put this guy out and get a guy, maybe? That is rough. That is incredibly rough. I can't even put out Ossification. Let's just say no. We need to get some guys. Yeah, there we go. I got a dude out. You playing frogs on me? Yoink, and we'll try this. I don't have any mana left now, but we got a guy that's 3. He's probably trying to put together a frog deck. Problem is, they usually have pretty decent reach. Just going for mana like crazy. Don't care. I'm hoping he won't flash out something stupid. There we go. That's our ability to protect him. And we could shelter by ghost. Should probably have to do that. Hopefully he's lacking on creature removal at this point. Still going for land. Good. Alright, so don't care about the flying. I really don't care about that at all. I know I could have pumped him with that, but I'm just waiting a little bit here. It's got more. What do you got going up there? Let's keep pumping. All in. Alright, down to 7. He's got 2 cards that can help him. He's looking at him super hard. Doppelgang would be really bad, in my opinion. Alright, you can create double things that you do, double the effects. You got 2 cards, man. I don't know what we're waiting for. You want your frog back? Doppelgang. What did I effing say, man? We're about to lose that entire stack. Ooh, Calix is cool. Let's go see if we can beat some butt. Alright, he's got 1 card. Let's just grab it. Crystal Barricade to help keep guys alive. Let's chuck it in. Alright, so Calix comes out. Maybe Feather of Flight. There we go. There's enough. And we win! In your face, Junie B. Jones. In your face. Alright, so we are with Selesnya Enchantments. Yeah, it was good. It was really good. I mean, I think we've seen this deck before for the most part. I wasn't terribly surprised. Trying to say what did look interesting to me was the fact that we had the Grand Entryway. I personally have never played with this card before that I know about. It was all right. I mean, it was an enchantment, and it puts out an enchantment creature. That helps. So that if you got Calix out, this thing starts, you know, double dealing his abilities. Crystal Barricade was great because giving your guys essentially prevent all non-combat damage. That is really good to keep your guys alive. Because the problem is you start loading up all the auras onto your dudes, they become targets and they get wiped out. It's really painful. But yeah, all your synergies are really strong. Guys with Ward are fantastic. The Toadstool Admirer is a fantastic card because it takes at least until turn 3 until they can even target it. And that is really great. You got lots of chances to throw out a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's a tight deck. It's great. And it was nice to see a few extra cards put in. Nothing here from Final Fantasy, but like I said, we do have stuff from, I don't know, whatever that was. And then this comes from Dustmorn there. So things I haven't seen in this deck before. It was a good upgrade. Pretty decent. But other than that, you have the old standards in there. The one card I couldn't stand the most was Ossification. I forgot this thing can only do creature and planeswalker. I was so used to Shelter by Ghost being able to steal anything. Ossification just feels limited in a really bad way. Whatever, you got what you got, right? A little bit of control never hurts, and that's your control or Ossification and Shelter by Ghost. It's nice when Calix is able to start copying those things and just penning things down, and that is just delightful. All right, so let's get down to it. Who was the MVP of this deck? It was Calix. Calix was the MVP. Calix is always the MVP of an enchantment deck. He does so much. You get him out, you put out a Popo counter. You get out any other enchantment, you put out Popo counters. You get combat damage to a player, more Popo. It feels like more. Oh, the reason why is you make copies of enchantments, at which point then that means that those things come to play, which means you're passing out more Popo counters. Just the level of copying and Popo counters and just stuff being passed around. Calix is a freaking madman. 3 mana, it's insane. But he's really excellent. And yeah, if you ever see him in play and he's not yours, you need to destroy him as quickly as possible. So Calix, you are today's MVP. Congratulations. You were going to Disneyland. All right, number 2. I guess it's really number 1. Was this deck competitive? Yeah, it's a competitive deck. I picked it up. It said that it was a 64% win rate deck. I think it's easily in the Platinum Mythic range. It's a competitive deck. So yes. Number 2, was this deck fun? Yeah, it's always a fun deck to play. What I like about it is everything's so cheap. Got so many things in 1 and 2. Calix being practically the most expensive is 3. We got slow mana in here. I'm not sure I'm down with that, but it does. If we got a little bit of scry, I guess we can, in Surveil, we can kind of move our library around to make sure we get the cards that we need. So I guess it's not too bad. It feels like sometimes when we're fighting to get up to 3, we got these things in our hand, and I hate waiting. There's only like 2 of them, so how are they getting in the way so hard? I really don't know. Really don't know. It's the way the shuffler shuffles. Lastly, was this deck interesting? Just barely. I mean, it's pretty much a standard Calix deck, like I said, with a couple of weird choices in here. It's not weird. This is I guess the weirdest card. It's just because it's like it's not an enchantment. It doesn't do anything for you synergy-wise, but the fact that it gives all your guys prevention from non-combat damage and you prevention from non-combat damage, that is fantastic. So yeah, it's nice coverage. It's a good way to go. It doesn't have the synergy you're looking for because it's all artifact-y rather than enchantments, but it was cool to have that in there. All right, so there we go. There it is. Let's rack it up. Was this deck competitive? Yes. Was this deck fun? Yeah. Was it interesting? Just barely. So I'm going to give this deck a straight A deck. And as I'm not required by federal law to say, if you decide to play with this deck, I hope you have as much fun with it as I did. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the underground secret headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. In the words of my people, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes.